This video is on solving equations where we have some algebraic fractions. So I have 5x over 2x plus 1 is equal to 12 minus 5x over x minus 1. Now this is easiest if I have this fraction to go over to this side. So I need to add 5x over x minus 1 to cancel that here. And to add 5x over x minus 1 here to keep it balanced. So let's do that first. So I'm going to have 5x over 2x plus 1 add 5x over x minus 1. This is going to be equal to 12. Now I know that I can write these fractions as a single fraction, but for that I'm going to need a common denominator. I have 2x plus 1 here, x minus 1 here, and the lowest common multiple for these is going to be 2x plus 1 times x minus 1. So I'm going to write that now. So the first fraction, I'm going to have 5x, and I'm going to have to multiply this by x minus 1 here, and I need to do the same to the bottom, and I need to have this in brackets as well. So this is going to be x minus 1 here, and then I have plus 5x over x minus 1. Now I need to multiply this fraction by 2x plus 1 here and 2x plus 1 here, and that's going to be equal to 12. Now I can multiply this out and I can multiply this out. So let's do that. So 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times minus 1 is minus 5x. This is going to be all over 2x plus 1 times x minus 1. Now I'm going to multiply out this bit here. So 5x times 2x is 10x squared. 10x squared. 5x times 1 is plus 5x. This is going to be all over 2x plus 1 and x minus 1. Now notice that I changed the order here. Now this doesn't matter because multiplying you can do it either way around, it'll be fine, just to keep it the same as that. Okay, so now I'm going to write this as a single fraction because I have the same denominator. So I have 5x squared minus 5x, and now I need to add all of this. So I'm going to have add 10x squared and add 5x all over the same denominator. And this is equal to 12. Now what I can do, I can simplify the top. So 5x squared and 10x squared, that makes 15x squared. Minus 5x and 5x, they cancel out. So I'm just going to show that here. So this will cancel with that. So let's do that now. So I'm going to have 15x squared over 2x plus 1 times x minus 1. This is equal to 12. Now I can multiply both sides by this here. So if I multiply this side by 2x plus 1 times x minus 1, it will cancel out the denominator, and I need to multiply on this side as well. So I'm going to have 15x squared is equal to 12 times 2x plus 1 and x minus 1. Now I have gotten rid of the fraction. So what I have here, I can see that I'm going to have a quadratic equation. Now I can multiply this out first. So 12 times 2x and 12 times 1, and then multiply all of that by the x minus 1. Or I can multiply these two first and then multiply it to 12. And actually I can see that the 15 and 12 have a common factor. So I can actually divide through by 3. So divide this side by 3 and divide this side by 3. And then what I'm going to have left is 5x squared here, which is equal to 4 times 2x plus 1 and x minus 1. Now I'm going to multiply these brackets first because I find that easier. So let's do that. So I have the 4. Now 2x times x is 2x squared. Now I'm going to have minus 2x from that, and I'm going to have plus x from that. That's going to give me minus x altogether, minus x. And 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. Okay, and now I'm going to multiply that by the 4. So I'm going to have 5x squared is equal to 4 times 2x squared is 8x squared. 4 times minus x is minus 4x. 4 times minus 1 is minus 4. Now, when solving quadratic equations, I need to have everything on one side and then 0 on the other side. Now, I don't want a negative x squared, so I'm just going to take away 5x squared from this side and take away 5x squared from this side, and I'm going to have my 0 on this side. So I'm going to have 0 is equal to, so 8x squared take away 5x squared is 3x squared minus 4x and minus 4. Now I have my quadratic equation equaling to 0. So what I can do is I can factorize this to solve it. And if I can't factorize it, I'm going to use the quadratic formula to solve this. So let's try factorizing it. So a times c, so a times c is going to be, so a times c is going to be minus 12. So I need a product. Product has to be minus 12, and the sum has to be minus 4. Now, which two numbers will give me a product of minus 12 and a sum of minus 4? This is going to be minus 6 and plus 2. So minus 6 times 2 gives me minus 12, and minus 6 add 2 gives me minus 4. So I need to rewrite this minus 4x as minus 6x plus 2x. So let's do that. So we got 0 is equal to 3x squared minus 6x plus 2x and minus 4. Now I can factorize this. So I'm going to factorize these two terms here, and I'm going to factorize these. So let's do that. So I'm going to have 3x, I'm going to have x minus 2. And the other side I'm going to factorize the 2 out. So I'm going to have x minus 2. Now I can factorize this again because I have x minus 2 here and x minus 2 here. So this is going to be x minus 2, and I'm going to have 3x plus 2, and this is all equal to 0. So now either x minus 2 is equal to 0, and in that case I'm going to have x is equal to 2, or 3x plus 2 must be equal to 0, and in that case I'm going to have x is equal to minus 2 over 3. So these are my solutions. So I have x equals 2 and x equals minus 2 over 3. Now for this question I was able to factorize it. If I'm not able to factorize it, I will need to use the quadratic formula. So I've got 3 questions here for you. So I'd like you to try these questions and then bring them to the lesson.